Holy shit, I just watched episode 5 of Baby Steps and it continues to be really, really, really good. I'm actually even more excited for this show now than I was before because my friend Ghost Lightning has started reading the manga and he's a big fan of tennis and he also plays tennis, and he was going ahead and reading the manga and said that it's just fantastic all the way through. One of his favorite sports manga, one of the few that stays fairly realistic all the way through. The main character has a little bit of latent talent and superpower in that we are learning that he has like really amazing vision, that he can just see everything that's happening on the court, but it doesn't immediately manifest as like he's insanely powerful. What's great about this episode is that it shows us that his training has mattered. It's not like he just completely sucks in this first match due to a lack of skill entirely. It's that he's practiced certain things and gotten good at them, but there's so much to the game of tennis that there's no way he could be good at all of it already. He starts off winning the first game in the set by using amazing returns because he's gotten really good at returning fast serves, but then the second his opponent figures that out, his opponent has all these other tricks up his sleeve to completely fuck up Achan's game and, leave him in the dust. It's a clever way to make it feel like Achan is making progress, like he's not just getting stomped, because we already know that he could get stomped. He got stomped in the other episodes, so we still feel progress even now as we're starting the first game, even though we know he's going to get destroyed. At this point, the show has introduced all of its, customary sports characters that you need to have. There's the guy who becomes friends with Achan, who knows a lot about tennis and can be his expository dialogue guy, tell him everything he needs to know about the situation. We've got the best friend who's going to be constantly explained stuff on the sidelines for us viewers so that we can learn stuff even when Achan isn't learning stuff. We've got the wise coach who sees all the talent in the main character and can point out everything that he needs to do. So we've got our regular sports character sideline people, which are necessary in any good sports anime, it seems. Animation wise, I'd say this episode took a little bit of a dive. I don't think the show was ever really great looking in the first place. It's always been just kind of okay, but this episode had a lot of ugly character model shots. There's a bunch of 3D modeled random pedestrians in the background, which is whenever they want to get cheap with crowd shots, they can just clone stamp a bunch of 3D modeled people. I've never understood how that's so much cheaper than drawing them, but apparently it is, because anime studios like to do it a lot to save on budget. I also love that this episode takes place 4 months into Achan playing tennis. I'm not entirely sure how much time had passed by the last episode, but I love that it's not like he started playing, then he practiced a bunch for a few days, and then immediately jumped into a tournament. Or they didn't learn about the tournament, and then it was the next day or something. We've had this long break of time where all he's been doing is practicing return serves for months, and now he's starting his first match. So that was cool. And I've heard that there's more time skips like that in the manga, where it'll just be and then he went and practiced for a year, and now let's see how he's gotten, because it would never happen that quickly. It would never be, let me go grind for a weekend and then I'm ready for the match. He grinds for a long time. So it feels earned when he is capable of returning serves so well, because it's not just a matter of him being decent at it. He returns the serve well enough to, to stomp this guy in the first game, but he's been doing it for 4 months. That's no small amount of time. I can believe you'd get really good if you were doing that nonstop for that amount of time. So yeah, the show just has a really great way of being believable. It nails that aspect more than anything. It nails earning what it's giving us, where the main character feels like he's getting it in a way that is really satisfying. So every time he makes a small bit of progress, we're like, yeah, those 4 months paid off. And that's what makes this show so enjoyable to me. And we'll see what happens when the next episode comes out on Sunday.